But that's all I've got for this story. Anything else from you two? Okay.
No, great story.
I'll put this back up. And Rebecca, I believe this is you.
Of course, with all these heavy topics, we have to do a little bit of entertainment. I've been trying to put this one in for a couple of weeks here, but something always supersedes it. Season 2 trailer of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. This is coming up. Here they all are. They've taken off their blue coats and they're wearing white dresses underneath, whatever symbolism you get out of that. But the new season is starting. This was a runaway breakout hit when it first came out last spring. So it says for the upcoming season of season 2, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, a new cast member, Miranda McWhorter, also known as Miranda Hope, she's up there in the right-hand corner, is joining the show. And she was actually part of the Mom Talk group that did the soft swinging scandal that inspired the series. Now, we reported on that, I think, way back early on. But if you're not familiar with where this whole series came from, up in my neck of the woods, there was a group of some LDS, some not. Anyway, a group of friends and moms that were putting dance videos on TikTok called Mom Talk, right? And Taylor Frankie Paul let it slip one day in a TikTok video that the whole group was falling apart and her marriage was falling apart because they were soft swinging, which means, consensual non-monogamy, basically. And everybody went ballistic. It was all over the news because, again, how exciting. Mormons, wait, what, they do that? And all the girls are very cute, of course. And so it spawned this series. I'm sure that producers went, okay, these girls, there's something going on. But the series didn't have anybody else that was involved in the soft swinging up until season 2. So now we have Miranda. And so I think that's going to be one of the topics maybe that's brought up a little bit more since we now know that there are people that are I knew someone in the group, believe it or not.
Really?
I did. Yeah. I told you. I've got my finger on the pulse of everything that happens up here in Utah County. So
Miranda McWhorter, that's got to be a screen name, right?
Probably. I will say that the person that I knew was connected to a higher up church official, which is probably why they didn't want to be on the series. And I'll say
really, what higher up church official?
I'm not going to say, but a family member. Them. So no, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Anyway, and that was a long time ago. So all right, so there they are, and it says 3 members of the cast since we saw them last in season 1 are pregnant. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? That's amazing. And they've been on different talk shows, and people are just staring at them like, wow, because you've got all these young girls and they're all pregnant.
Rebecca,
yes.
It sounds to me like the amazing thing is that more of them aren't pregnant.
That could possibly be true. Yeah. So Jennifer Affleck, Michaela Matthews, and Macy Neely are all currently pregnant and excited to grow their families. So we'll see about that in season 2. Season 2 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives premieres on Hulu on Thursday, May 15th. And all 10 episodes drop at once. And if you're like me, you just need to it's like taking cough syrup. You just have to do it. You just have to watch it. And then
look back. It.
No, I did like it. I mean, like maybe isn't the right word. You just can't not watch it. Plus, I have to watch it so I can report on it. For professional reasons, I had to spend an entire day and eat an entire pizza watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
This sounds like a really good recommendation from you, Rebecca.
No, everyone's going to watch it. You have to, because you're just curious how they interweave Mormonism into it. I mean, last season there were baby blessings, and then they were at Chippendales. I mean, it was really just this, all over the place mixture that was fascinating. The problem I have with the show is that I can't recognize anybody. They all look alike. And with the new season and the new picture, I can't tell who's who anymore.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. And I was just wondering if it was me.
No, it's me too. And I'm usually really good at it. I watched all seasons before I podcasted of all the Real Housewives, all of them. I don't want to admit it, but I did. I could recognize everyone. But on this, I have trouble.
It's like how all the Barbie dolls look the same no matter what their profession is.
That's what I'm saying. It's very strange. But if you can't get enough of these girls, there's actually a live event that's coming up. They're planning their very first live show in Vegas. This is going to be on June 7th at 10 p.m. at the Venetian Palazzo Theater in the Las Vegas Strip. And you can get tickets to this, which is amazing. If anybody wants to go see them,
what are they going to do?
What?
What are they going to do? Do you know?
Well, I'm going to funny you should ask. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. The live event will feature 6 cast members from the unscripted Hulu series. You've got Taylor Frankie Paul, Michaela Matthews, Macy J. Neely, Jennifer Affleck, Jesse I can never pronounce her name, Negatakura and Layla Taylor. And they will include commentary, roundtable chats, interactive games, confessions from fans read live by the cast, and more. According to the announcement, it costs $45 plus fees to get tickets if it's not already sold out. So anyway, you can just probably Google that if you're interested in going and seeing these lovely ladies in person. And if you can't see them in person, May 15th coming up in just a couple weeks, you can binge watch on Hulu The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I don't know, when the first season came out, do you guys remember the statement the church put out?
Yes,
it was
I do.
A statement about that and heretic, where they didn't name anything specifically, but they said, people represent the church in a way that it's not really us. So I don't know, now that this show is like the #1 show, like it is crazy popular, if they're going to have to put out another statement. I don't know.
So I think, Bill, by the way, thank you for that story, Rebecca. I think that's a great idea. Bill, Mormonism After Dark. What do you think about us reading confessions from fans, read live by the cast, and more?
Now that actually is a really good idea. I'm not kidding. Post Secret. Have you heard of that site before? Where people send in postcards with confessions. Just go to Post Secrets. Sometimes there are LDS ones that you come across, but people just unburden themselves on a postcard. They mail it in, and they are displayed on this website. And some of them are very dark secrets. So it's
really dark secrets, like what?
Very dark. I don't know, just very, very dark. Like people write in, my husband thinks the baby is his. Something like that. I mean, that's not dark, but just very intense, revealing things that you would never say to anybody else.
RFM's on his third reading right now. He's reading postsecrets.com.
We've lost him now on the show because he's off on a tangent.
We could make it like Penthouse Forum.
But seriously, it is like Penthouse Forum. For those of you that know what that is, that is a really good idea.
I'm kind of surprised you know what it is, Rebecca.
I was a librarian. Do you know that BYU had a subscription to Playboy? Because in the past, especially, some articles were only in Playboy. Some really important people would have been interviewed, like judges and things like that. So the subscription was not pictures. It was on microfilm so that you could read the articles, but heaven forbid there was no centerfold.
So you got to read that Jimmy Carter had lusted after women in his heart.
That's what I'm saying. Those really important tell-all articles that were in Playboy. Yep, that's it. So
somebody asked if in this image if they're wearing garments or not.
You know what? It's a good question. Yeah, no, they talk about garments on the show. They do, and some of them more obviously are. But with the new tank top garment, who's to say? I can't tell anymore.
There you go.
I don't know.
What are we going to do when we can't tell who the righteous women are, Bill?
It's a problem.
I guess we're only left to make assumptions. I don't know. What are we to do, RFM, if we don't know who the righteous women are anymore?
Oh my gosh.
Well, there are different
something to judge people by just at a glance.
There are different definitions of modesty. I've told this story before, how I was in a dressing room at Kohl's. There was a mother and daughter in the dressing room next to me, and they were trying on shoes, interesting, in a dressing room. And the mother kept saying, those are not modest shoes. Those aren't modest enough. And the daughter was going, oh, come on, Mom. No, those shoes aren't modest. And I was just dying to peek under and see what was considered a not modest shoe. I have no idea.
Probably stiletto heels on a 7-year-old.
Could be. If anyone in the chat knows, I've always been curious. What's a not modest shoe?
All right. Anything else from you on this story?
Nope. I dare you to segue modest shoes into the next story, though. I don't think it can be done.
If anybody can do it, Bill can.
I know Bill's really good.
Well, if anybody's wearing their walking shoes in Wyoming, they're walking right out of the church. And we can see that in our next story. So this